Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Today, I'm going to talk about a trap in the Jobava London, which I want to show you how to avoid, because it's not really even a trap, but surprisingly, a lot of people fall for it, which is why some of my students, and you know who you are, I will not name names, like the Jobava London. So, let's take a look. So Jobava London, I'll show you from Black's point of view. So d4, d5, knight c3, knight c3 makes it the Jobava London. I made some videos on the channel showing you how white plays it. There is a game by Hans Niemann, which I posted a few months ago. So knight c3. Okay, we play knight f6. It's the main move. Nothing special here. We are preparing to play c5. And Jobava London appears with bishop f4. And now one of the main moves, which is absolutely fine, is pawn c5. Now, note that white wants to do this at some point. It doesn't work right now. That's the important part. Because if white does this right away, we can play queen a5. And we don't win the knight, because the knight can go back. But the problem for white is he just wasted time moving his knight back and forth, which he does not want to do. So they will usually play in this position. They will play e3 because now this is a move. And now this is very important. The most natural move is knight c6. Do not play knight c6. That even happens on the highest level. Do not play knight c6. Knight b5 is really good for white. It's +2. We don't get forked, but we have to give up some stuff. And this is not good. So avoid, please avoid knight b5. It's nothing right now because knight a6 exists. So the simplest way you can play this is by playing a6 right away. And you just solved all your problems. White knight will never come here, and eventually you will be able to, let's say if white takes, eventually you'll be able to get this pawn back. You're doing more than fine. You can do it with knight c6 to stop b4. You can do it with queen a5, which attacks this and stops b4. If you prefer, you can do this first. The logic here is after white takes back, and he will take with the pawn, because taking with the queen, you just gain time on the queen. So queen d4, you just gain time on the queen. So they'll take with the pawn, and now you can play a6. Same point, white has nothing, and you just have normal development. Some of you might ask a question, well, can't white play knight here right now? Well, the problem right now is it doesn't quite work. Why does it not work? Because we check. So the problem again is white needs to deal with the check. He can block two ways. He can block with the pawn, and block with the queen. He cannot move the king because you take the knight with check. So let's look at both. Let's say pawn c3. We take. The problem again for white is if he takes back with the knight, he just wasted two moves moving the knight back and forth. And if he does this, play king d8. Now you are still threatening this, and this is very, very uncomfortable. White can also play queen d2. And now we just take. Now he can't castle. And now we can take this with check. If he takes with the pawn, his pawns are terrible. And then we just stop any adventures connected to this with knight a6. And you just up a pawn. If he takes with the bishop, again, you just up a pawn. But if you don't want to memorize all of this, which you probably don't, just remember when your opponent plays e3, in order to play knight b5 is not a thing yet. Knight b5 will only be a thing if you mess this up with knight c6. So the simplest thing and the easiest to remember is play a6. Many of my students fell for it. Many of my students were able to do this as white. By many, again, there is one person specifically I have in mind. You know who you are. I hope everyone who watched this video, I hope you will learn something from it. Please like, please subscribe. I'll be back soon. Thank you.